Kwandega. I can speak Venda as well. So I'm Tonga, like natural. By birth, yes.
Oh, okay. So like you are a Tonga girl.
Yes.
So generally, just in brief, who is this person that I'm talking to? When I know the
Okay, so my name is Shailet Ngonya. I come from Binga and I grew up in Bulawayo. I'm a second year medical student at the University of Zimbabwe, and I hold several leadership positions in several organizations, and also I'm a founder of an organization called Young People for Jesus. It's mostly involved in spreading the word of God and also in charity work.
But people would say you're from Binga. Which part exactly?
I'm from Chilila, so it's close to, like it's a few kilometers from the Binga growth point. So yeah, that's where I come from, Chilila. It's called Tonga.
Okay.
Yes.
So you went to school in Binga or in Bulawayo?
I went to Binga Primary School from grade 1 to grade 3, and then from grade 4 I was in Bulawayo. So grade 4 to grade 7 I was at Maketen Primary School, and then form 1 to form 6 I was at St. Columba's High School in Bulawayo.
When you were in Binga, there are certain traditions and values, there are cultural values that they practice in that area. Which one do you remember most?
Well, I remember like how they make this traditional alcohol, how they cook traditional alcohol. So I never really lived Kumusha, so I don't really know much about our tradition.
Okay.
Yes.
No, that's fine. And so then you went for your A level. You were at St. Columba's.
Yes, I was in St. Columba's.
What subjects were you doing?
A level, I specialized in maths, biology, and chemistry.
How was it? Because we have heard so many stories that a girl child, when it comes to science subjects, it's a difficult task.
Well, for me, I've always had this mindset that I can do anything that anyone can, only I must try to do it better. So ever since, I never thought that anything could stop me from achieving what I want to achieve. So from the time I passed, I realized that I passed my O levels. I thought of venturing into like the medical field. So I was like, I'm going to do maths, biology, and chemistry. And from there, I was so focused towards school. I didn't have a social life in high school, and that's how I really got to ace my A levels.
How was the competition with the boys?
Well, for me, it was I was at the top of my class. That's what I remember. In chemistry, I was number 1. And then maths, there were boys. Of course, boys would compete with me in maths, but really, I was one of the top students in my A-level classes.
Okay. So, which symbols did you get at A-level?
I got A in maths, A in chemistry, and A in biology.
So that motivated you to choose to study medicine?
Yes. But I had the vision of becoming a doctor when I lost my dad. So at 5, when my dad passed on, I actually was there to see him breathe his last. It was me and him. So that was more like a trauma for me, because I watched him get sick and couldn't go to the hospital. And there was nothing that we could do. He was there until the day he passed on. So the day he passed on, now it was only me and him in the house, and yeah, that was trauma for me. So from that day I told myself I'm not gonna watch any of my siblings or any of my family members die while I watch. So I then had this mindset that I'm gonna become a doctor, and since then I just have this passion for medicine, and I have a big heart to help people, and I'm so passionate about helping people, and also so passionate about, like, I can do anything to help someone next to me because of how I grew up and because of how I learned through the years that you don't really succeed so you can succeed when you actually help those around you as well.
I just want to take you back a little bit of the day that your father passed away. I know it's very painful and traumatic. How then did you conclude, say, I've lost my father, this is his last breath at your age?
Okay, so what happened, he actually, when someone dies, right, you want to really hear what they are saying, but they'll be trying to communicate something. So he was communicating something to me, and I didn't really understand what he was saying. So at that time, my grandmother came in, and I was like, he's saying something, but I don't understand. And she was like, he's asking for water, so can you go and bring water? And then I went there and brought water, and when I got there, she actually dipped her hand into the water and she closed her eyes. So that's when she told me that he was gone. So that's when I got to know that he was indeed gone. But I didn't react, I didn't cry at that time because I didn't really know how it feels like or how it happens.
And now let's go to university. I understand one of the challenges that you are facing right now is school fees. You are in your second year or first year?
Second year.
Second year.
Yes.
Who has been paying for your school fees?
My sister, the one I've been staying with since grade 4.
And now she can't afford.
Yeah, now it's difficult for her because she has 2 kids who are attending boarding school, and the other one is in grade 6. That's the third born, and then there's the last born. She's like 5 months old, and yes, so it's been hard for her to like pay for everyone, then buy food and take care of everything. So yeah.
So, what is your message to people out there who want to complete your degree?
Okay, so personally, I am really passionate about this degree, and I put maximum energy into school. In everything that I do, I always make sure that I try to reach to perfection, because this is one thing that I really want to do. This is one thing that I really want to fulfill, and I believe this is the purpose that God has for my life. So my message out there is that I can make use of any help in form of a sponsorship or a scholarship, because that is one thing that has been really disturbing me mentally, and it's hard for me to focus on school when I know that I have to think of ways of getting fees, because it's hard for me to ask for my sister when I know she's struggling. It's hard for me to really call her up and say I need money for accommodation, I need money for food. It's just hard because I know for her right now it's a tough season. So I can't really ask for anything at the moment. So my message to people out there is that those who are really willing, or those who know of any form of help that I can get, I would really, really appreciate if they can reach out to me and really connect me with those organizations or any program that helps people at varsity or people want to further their studies.
One may ask, have you ever tried to apply for scholarship somewhere without even just mentioning the names? Have you ever tried to do that?
Yes, I have tried to apply since 2017. Since our results came out, I applied to about 5. I didn't get any positive response, and then since then, like this year, since this year began, I've been applying, I've been sending emails, I've been given links to apply to, I've been applying, but I haven't gotten any response. And I've kind of like lost hope in getting help, because it doesn't make sense if I continue to apply and I don't get any response from any initiative that I applied to.
Probably when you were getting tired, that's when you were about to get it. So if someone would say they can offer you employment, would you be able to go to school and work part-time as well?
Yes, I can do that. If it means that is the only way that I can get help, I can definitely do that.
Let's talk about some of the programs, charity work that you do personally.
Okay, so with this organization that I mentioned, Young People for Jesus.
Young People for Jesus.
We have conducted several charity programs. For example, in December, we donated foodstuffs and toiletries to this charity home, Tembiso, in Blawayo. And then in May, we actually gathered clothes. We got donations for clothes. We had to distribute these clothes to street kitchens, like in Blawayo. Those kids were living in the streets, because we realized that this year was really cold, and we thought of getting warm clothes for them to wear. And there are several programs that I'm involved in as well that really are about charity. Yeah.
So the issue of giving, how do you feel when you work so hard to give other people and no one is knocking on your door?
It's really disturbing sometimes when I think of it. I'm like, God, I'm here helping your people, but then it's hard for me to really get one thing that I've been praying for years now. But I don't really get tired of helping people out there. If I can help, if I can reach out to anyone, I always do. Not because I want something in return, but because I know I can help those who can really help themselves.
So, and for now, do you owe the university the school fees?
There's accommodation fee that I've been paid from last semester. I managed to pay the one I managed to pay the one for this semester, like for these 3 weeks that we're at school. So the one that I haven't paid is for last time we were here before COVID struck. So that's the only one that I owe the varsity, and we will be opening for 3rd year in late November or beginning of November. So that's one big challenge that I have, that I'm thinking, where am I going to get the money to pay now since I'm going to 3rd year? So that is really my focus, from like 3rd year to get a sponsorship till I finish.
How much is it per semester or per year?
It changes because we don't open like the whole semester as it used to be because of this COVID. But for this semester we had paid 28,999 if I'm not mistaken. But it's approximately 30,000, yes.
As we conclude, where do we see Charlotte in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, after graduating, I wish to go back to my village, and yes, in Binga. My hope and my dream is to build a clinic and also an orphanage, because there's only one main hospital in Binga. So it's hard for those people who are living like far from the main clinic to actually go there and get treatment. So I really wish to build a clinic that's gonna serve people, and it is my dream to get like maybe sponsorship where people are gonna pay for their treatment but not fully the amount they're gonna get. They're gonna pay maybe partial amount, because people in Binga, like, they are not really advanced. They don't really have that much money to afford for medical services. So I wish to get to build a clinic and also an orphanage, because as an orphan I understand how those people who have lost parents feel. So I wish to build an orphanage that's going to help people, like kids who have lost 1 or 2 parents, to get a home where they're going to be helped and where they're going to feel like where they're going to feel loved. So yeah, that's where I see myself in 10 years.
Yes, probably you may not have said it to her, and she's not here, but one day she's listening. What is your message to your sister who has been taking care of you since when you were before?
Wow. I know it has been hard for my sister to like take me in, like, since grade 4 till I'm like a grown woman now. And one thing I'd want to tell her is that words cannot really explain or describe how grateful I am, and I thank her for really seeing the like a bigger picture before I saw it, for really seeing that I had this kind of potential that I never thought I had, and she really believed in me when I didn't. And I know it's been hard for her, but I'd like to thank her that may God continue to bless her, and may God continue to keep her, even as if things are hard and they might not end up right now, but God is going to bless her for all the good work that she has been doing, for taking care of me, for making sure that I eat, making sure that I get everything that I need. And I'm really, really thankful for everything, because she's one person who didn't really like discriminate me or like like choose me, like maybe saying she gives food to her kids and not me, but we have all been equal in the same roof. And I would like to thank my brother-in-law as well for really being part of this bigger picture and for really making me to feel like I'm one of her kids in the house. And yes, I'm grateful.
Good. Your last message again as we up to for donations and scholarships.
Okay, so most organizations, when you are applying, they ask for your leadership work or what you do in the community or how are you giving back to the community. So for me, I am one person who really gives back to the community. When I get time to go out there in the community to help, whether volunteering or teaching other kids, I am really passionate about that. And my message is that if any organization or if any initiative is to invest in me, I'm really saying this, that they are not going to regret ever investing their resources in me, because I'm one person who really is driven, self-motivated